Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today on the Cabral Concept. This is the second edition of the Cabral HouseCall. Each and every weekend, we go through your questions that come in through stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. Typically, it takes about 12 weeks to get your question answered live on the podcast, as we're doing right here today. But always remember, you can get same-day answers to your questions, typically Monday through Friday, by submitting them at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free private Facebook group with over 20,000 people, all from around the world, that have come there organically. No paid media, no marketing, nothing like that, just to come together, join together, common cause to get well, to either lose the weight, gain the weight, or live a longer, stronger life. So it's an amazing community. I appreciate all of you for being here, for your support of the podcast, your reviews, your downloads, your shares, your subscribes. And why don't we do what we've come here to do now, and that is get to your questions. So as I open up my Ask Cabral document that my team does such an amazing job putting together, I see that our first question is coming in from Jessica. Jessica asks, "Thank you for all you do. I've learned so much about healing myself through your podcast and running your tests, as well as doing the functional medicine detox and heavy metal detox by Equilife. For my question, I know the benefits of infrared sauna. I have also heard that for women with breast implants, it can cause those heavy metals to leak out of them. I was hoping that you could shed some light on this and advise if women with implants should in fact use an infrared sauna. Thank you so much." All right, it's a great question. So I've answered this on previous shows, but I'm happy to answer it again. There are not usually, to my knowledge, a lot of heavy metals associated with breast implants. However, there are plastics, there's silicone, there's all sorts of different things that can actually begin to degrade at higher temperatures. So the issue is this: it's varying degrees and levels based on sometimes the age of the implant itself, because they break down the older they are, and it's something to consider. Now, I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios. Far infrared sauna is going to have a deeper effect on the body than near infrared sauna or dry sauna. And the higher the temperature, the more effect it will have. So if you do an infrared sauna and you keep the temperature basically below 140, it probably won't raise core body temperature as much, but it will have an effect. I'm not saying all of these are going to have a degree of effect on breaking down a breast implant. Now, is it going to totally break it down? No. But you're talking about the body going in and trying to remove some of what it knows shouldn't be there. So that is a potential. Now, a high sauna as well will potentially release more toxins as well from the breast implant. So any high degree of heat from a sauna will cause some breakdown in breast implants. And far infrared sauna will also have a greater effect because it penetrates the body to a deeper degree. All right? So hopefully that at least gave you a starting point of the higher the heat and far infrared sauna will have a greater effect in the body. You move more towards near infrared or regular finished dry sauna, not at very high heat. You'll have to stay in longer, but it won't have the same breakdown essentially on the breast implants. All right? Anonymous is up next. "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm curious if you have any experience with long-term effects of meningococcal meningitis. I had it when I was an infant, and from what I was told, it was very severe. I'm 28 and struggle with very poor gut motility and overall circulation, causing unbearable constipation, trapped gas, and a multitude of problems in cold weather with my hands and feet. I don't know if there's any connection between these problems and my illness as an infant, but it is really the only major trauma event that could have caused something like this. I exercise daily, get good sleep, and eat extremely clean. I've tried cutting out nearly every type of food to see if there was a culprit on my plate, but to no avail. I've seen every doctor, ran FM more labs than I can afford, and I'm still left confused. Okay, happy to help with this. And I don't necessarily see a connection. Again, I'm not here to provide you with any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical diagnosis, or medical cures on the podcast. But what I would love to do is provide you with a second opinion and more of a underlying root cause. I know that it seems like you've tried everything. Same with me, right? I got sick at 17, did all of conventional medicine for 2 years. Then I started seeing natural health, started to get some results, would relapse, get some results, and then relapse. And finally, I meet my mentor. I'd already run a lot of labs, and I ran the right labs, but I had the right practitioner reading them. They gave me a protocol, and again, I was better in 6 months. So it's like, I get it. I know where you're coming from. I don't see the meningitis, which is bacterial inflammation of the spine and the brain. And I just don't see that causing the poor gut motility and the circulation issue. I see this being a stress-based issue with potentially an imbalance in gut bacteria. I'd run the Big Five. If you couldn't run the Big Five, I'd run the bacteria and parasite gut test. Parasite and bacterial stool test. And I would run the stress, mood, and metabolism test. I'd run that with an integrative health practitioner level 2, or I'd run that with our team at Equalife. And then you'll get the plan from there. But again, I go back to it. Or you can go to stephencabral.com/courses, and you can take my course on digestion. You could become an IHP, like whatever works for you, but there's always an underlying root cause. There's 4 main causes of gut and digestion issues: Candida overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth, parasites or H. pylori. Then there's intestinal permeability. And then the other factor which can cause a lot of this, if there's no alcohol, there's no antibiotic use in the past, there's no birth control, there's no any of this other stuff, stress can cause a lot of these issues. So I just want to share that with you. And again, we're happy to help however we can. Danica is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I was recently diagnosed with adenomyosis. I can't find much in your past podcasts about it. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit about ideas for natural remedies. The main treatments are hysterectomy and uterine artery embolization, neither of which I want to do. I appreciate you. Thank you, Danica. I appreciate you. Appreciate all of our listeners here. And so basically, adenomyosis, I'm not an expert in this by any means. I always let you know when that's the case. I believe this is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is when the uterine lining begins to grow into the musculature as to which it's attached, and it can lead to heavier menstrual flow or bleeding. I do believe that this is something that a woman deals with during her menstrual cycle years before she reaches menopause, and then it goes away. So what I look for, if we don't want to go surgical route, which of course is for me, again, I'm not giving you medical advice, is always my last option, is to look at what could be causing an imbalance in hormones or a greater inflammation in the body. That's always what I do. So I hope actually that I sound like a broken record. I hope that, but I would run the Big Five first. I would look for all of my gut issues, heavy metals. I would look for food sensitivities. I would look for high and low minerals. I would look for stress-based markers, all of that, right? And then I would work the process. I would run the labs. I would do a 21-day functional medicine detox. Then I would begin to get on a specific protocol built for me, meaning you, and I would work the process. And that's exactly what I would do, whether this was my wife who had this, my sister-in-laws, my sister, anyone in my family, this is exactly what I would recommend. So that's the starting point. All right, Danica, thank you for writing in. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. The last 2 years, I've had painful cystic acne on my upper back, many urinary tract infections, and earlier this year, I got impetigo around my mouth at the same time as I was battling hand, foot, mouth. I also get athlete's foot in the winter. Because of these issues, I've been thinking I might have Staphylococcus bacteria, as this seems to be what many functional medicine doctors believe can cause cystic acne. Candida metabolic and vitamins tests didn't show to have elevated bacterial markers, but showed my vitamin C level at 0. Other labs showed CRP at 16. I'm 34, I eat well, but stressed with small kids. And in 2021, my cortisol was flatline low all day. My TSH is borderline hyper. Question, what are your thoughts? Number 2, what type of lab test can I run specifically to check for staph infection? Okay. Yeah. So I agree with your synopsis, but I just think that there's levels to this. So I think that your immune system, like let's say that you took antibiotics or you took whatever it might be to get rid of staph, right? You did it naturally or you did conventional medicine. Your immune system just doesn't seem to be where it needs to be. You have a CRP of 16. It should be a 1 or below, which is C-reactive protein. You have low levels of cortisol and high levels of stress. Now, again, the Candida metabolic vitamins test is not meant to check for bacteria. It tests beneficial bacteria, and it also checks for Clostridium difficile bacteria. It's different than staph bacteria. You may want to run, so this is what I would do, okay? So you've already run the Candida metabolic vitamins test. If I were you, would run the bacteria and parasite stool test. And I would run the stress, mood, and metabolism test if I could only run 2 labs, okay? If you can run more, I'd run the minerals and metals test and the omega-3 test if you're not already doing the daily omega-3 support, just to kind of look at your levels. To look for staph, you would ask your PCP, medical doctor, to run that to see if you have high levels in your blood. Okay, so yes. So basically, I agree with all of it. Acne can be hormonal. It can be bacterial. It can be food sensitivity. There's a lot of reasons for it, okay? So yes, but I agree that those are the main reasons. So that's exactly what I would do. I mean, this is kind of too serious not to start running labs and looking at exactly what it is and then getting a plan that's customized for you. So I'm not going to start kind of throwing around things like Sauna or certain supplements. Like they're great, sure, but I would get a plan that's built for you. Like no doubt about it. No doubt about it at like 100%, okay? All right. Yeah, with UTIs, impetigo, and cystic acne, 100%, I'm cleaning up the whole body. Yeah, I'm doing a detox, but again, it's your choice. If you end up doing an antibiotic, then you need to use something like the CBO finisher at the same time, and then probably doing like the CBO protocol and definitely doing the 21-day detox and then working on stress. Like there's a lot, and you'll want to work with a coach, an integrative health practitioner level 2, or someone on our Equal Life team to walk you through this process. That's my opinion. That's what I would do. All right, Shannon's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I appreciate your time and insight and have enjoyed learning so much from you on these podcasts. My 12-year-old son has been having chronic headaches for at least 5 months now. In addition, he's had alopecia post-C in 2020. So basically from the virus. His hair is mostly grown back, and now, however, his upper eyelashes are still missing, plus allergies to dust, mold, cats, dogs, grass, and some trees. He's congested with poor sense of smell all the time. I'm beginning to think his headaches are due to sinusitis and possibly that his eyelashes aren't growing back because of the constant inflammation in his eyes. I would appreciate any advice as to how to help him. I have him on quercetin, vitamin C, and nettle tea already. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, happy to help with this. My highest recommendation is to listen to my podcasts on overcoming long COVID and inflammation based on the virus. So those are at stevencabral.com/podcasts. Scroll through the images at the top, and one of them are the latest virus updates. I haven't done many anymore, but again, you'll see the ones. They're all like the latest and greatest. They just haven't recorded them in a while. Nothing has really changed. So the other thing I'd like to share with you is the protocol that I personally use myself with friends and family and people on my team. And that's at stevencabral.com/the-protocol. And we also have a children's protocol, depending on how much your son weighs, at stevencabral.com. Actually, ask that at cabralsupportgroup.com. Because there's a children's protocol. Let me see if I can get it for you right now. Just because I want to make sure that you get the specific one, ask at cabralsupportgroup.com, because we created a private link that's not available to the public at cabralsupportgroup.com. It's free. and it goes through our children protocol. So the way that you would know to use it with your 12-year-old or not is really based on weight. Some 12-year-olds are literally 100 pounds and some are 60 pounds. No exaggeration. And so it really depends on kind of the level of growth. And so I'd want to make sure that we help you with that. So that's what I would do. So a lot of what I would do, is a lot of that daily foundational protocol. The omega-3s are so great for allergies. The alkalizing vitamin C, the Hist Pro, which is going to be better than your quercetin, vitamin C, and nettle altogether because it adds all of them together with some bromelain and NAC for sinus flow. We have a product called Sinus Support, which would be amazing. And and then we would also want to look at like overall gut function. So you might want to run the starter kit for a child. That's what I would recommend, starter kit. And then I would do a lot of what I just mentioned as well. Again, you can always work with a coach, integrative health practitioner.org or over at Equalife. And so we're happy to help however we can. All right. Thank you, Shannon. Hopefully that was helpful. We are keeping it at that for today. A lot of great questions today, a lot of great questions this weekend. And of course, you can find all previous podcasts at stephencabral.com/podcasts. And there's a search box. You can just type in your keyword as well to see if your question has been asked or your keyword in the past as well. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. And of course, every single day, bringing you a new Cabral concept. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow with our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the weekend. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.